This vehicle is the STRV S1. This is the next vehicle in the Advent calendar. You get to the Advent calendar by going to the store. This is a Swedish Tier 8 tank destroyer. And you click over here and there will be a link that says Advent calendar. And don't forget to pick mission of the day. This is from yesterday, so it will be showing up on the 14th. This is a tank that I've been playing for a while. You see I've already got the gun mark and probably mastery and things like that. It is a little bit difficult to play. There's a little bit of a learning curve. It does have a siege mode, which means you need to press a button on your keyboard to make it more accurate. And the good thing about this is when you are pivoting your tank, your binocs stay engaged and your camo net stays engaged. That's one of the good things about this tank. You don't have to lock the hull. So I'm going to show you how this vehicle compares to the UDAS. First of all, the average penetration is 288, and that's with regular rounds. That is crazy high. It's the highest that you're going to get for Tier 8. The APCR rounds is 320, both for the UDAS and for the STRV, which is also probably the highest you're going to get for Tier 8. So in terms of penetration, this can penetrate everything, including Tier 9 and Tier 10 tanks. This can penetrate the front of the M6A2E1 Mutant, although it is at the average for the armor. And it does 390 damage, which is pretty good. Over here it says the aim time is 2.94. I don't know if that's accurate. This thing aims in very quickly, very well, very accurately. This is a vehicle where you can turn on the auto aim on a fast-moving tank, and often you will hit the tank. It's probably one of the few tanks in the game where you can actually do that. It has 1,000 hit points, got a little bit more armor than the UDAS. The camo is pretty good. You know, a base of 28 is really good. View range is 350, which is a little low for Tier 8. The UDAS and the STRV are not identical, but if you play the UDAS, you'll get a pretty good idea of what the STRV is like. But they are quite similar. When you get up to Tier 9, when you get up to the Tier 9 STRV and the Tier 8 STRV Premium are actually quite similar. They're not that much different. Is it worth it? It's totally worth it. It's $30 to purchase a tank. It's extremely popular. It's really good for frontline. If you play frontline and you want a tank destroyer, this is definitely one of them. It's relatively fast, and it's extremely accurate. This and the Waffenträger E100, they're so accurate that you can pretty much target any aspect of a vehicle from long range, including all the hatches and the cupolas. Pretty much whatever you want to hit, you'll be able to hit from long range. The dispersion on it is actually really good. It's probably, I would guess it's the best in the game. For the UDAS, it says 0.34. And as you know, 0.39 is common in the game. The aiming circle gets to be very small with this vehicle. It's super tiny. It is a little bit difficult to play, and the reason why is because when you're spotted, you're in the siege mode, your vehicle moves slowly. You have to hit a button to engage the drive mode, and you're going to be delayed 1.2 seconds before you can run and hide. So there's a little bit of a delay for that. And the same with engaging the enemy. If you see an enemy you want to fire, and you're not already waiting for him, you might have to switch to the siege mode, which is going to take a second for you to be ready to fire. So if you don't get spotted, it's really good. It is bouncy. It will bounce a lot of incoming shots, except for AG rounds. But you still can get penetrated. But like I said, it is very bouncy. Against lower tiers, you're going to dominate with this vehicle. Very good for going up against heavy tanks. This is one of those vehicles where, you know how the heavy tanks, they go to the corridor and you don't want to hit them on the front because their armor is too strong? you don't have a problem with this tank. Even with the regular rounds, you can go to any corridor and you can hit those heavy tanks right on the frontal armor and you're going to damage them. When I played Frontline, there's videos of me playing Frontline with the STRV. You just the penetration indicator is green for everything because it's all tier 8, which is not common with other vehicles. Um, okay, so that's a little bit about the STRV S1. I do recommend it if you are interested in playing something that has a little bit of a learning curve, or if you want to have high penetration gun. I recommend this. So I'm going to look at my other Tier 8 tank destroyers in case you're interested in another vehicle. We'll only look at premium tanks. So these are all the ones I have. I recommend the Canon the Assault CDA 105. It's very mobile, has high penetration. I also recommend the ISU 152. It's a little bit slower, but it's got high penetration. TS5 is like the type of vehicle where you're going to play if the enemy is assaulting you and you're defending. GSOR is actually a good vehicle. I enjoy playing it. It's an autoloader. Scorpion is very popular. The SU-130PM is really good. The Kanan and Jagdpanzer, they're both pretty good too. I would say all of these tank destroyers are pretty good. The Yagdi Tiger, the penetration's a little low, but the armor is pretty good. So in terms of tank destroyers, almost any of these tank destroyers are a good buy. I don't highly recommend the Yagdi Tiger. However, I bought this like the first month I played the game, and it really does prepare you for the E100, that style of gameplay. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.